I'm really excited to bring to you as our PAC Student Spotlight this month, Mr. Zander Mack. He is involved with the North Hardin drama production that is happening at the PAC later in February. Zander, it's so nice to meet you. This is going to be your first time on our stage, so this is going to be a little bit of a different interview. Usually we're talking to students that have years on our stage, have done a lot of things, have met me, worked with me before. So this could be a little bit different. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you better.
This should be fun.
So right before we started recording, you mentioned this is your first year in drama over at North Hardin. What interested you to become involved with the drama club?
At first, it was just trying to find a club to get into that was rather more easy. And then all of my friends said, "You should get into drama club. You would be really good at it." And then I was like, the hardest part about it is trying to remember all the words to the play. But then I joined the club and she walked me through everything. She said, just make the story your own. Even if you don't remember the words, make it your own. And it's just been fun ever since.
Well, and I think that's an interesting take on performing for you, particularly because one of the things that I found out about you through the Tuesday's Teen article that you had in the News Enterprise. And congratulations on being recognized for that, by the way. But one of the things you mentioned was that you're interested in possibly becoming a news person, a news anchor, a journalist. And I think that's really integral to journalism as well. You've got to find a way to make that story your own. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. I was actually when I did the whole newspaper newspaper interview thing. I left like two hints in there, and I'm glad that somebody picked up on one. I get to meet with a news anchor, hopefully either this Friday or next Friday, with thanks to my teacher, Mr. Creason at North. He is a very well-known news anchor. He's like the head of something down in Atlanta, and he just wants to meet with me. I've been talking to him for a couple of days. We tried to exchange, but he's in surgery right now. So wishing him all the best. Yeah.
That's fantastic news. It's really interesting when you put it out there to the world. Sometimes it will come right back to you tenfold.
Because I'm trying to start a network. So I figured it'd be best if you start leaving like little hints in certain areas like newspaper or like social media, and I'll start letting people know that you're serious about what you want to do. So
What interests you about becoming a journalist?
what interested me about becoming a journalist was years ago, it was just watching the news with my grandmother, and I used to always just like say I wanted to be one of them. It's just it just seemed really fun.
Yes, yeah, and
I wanted to like tell news to people. And so like when middle school came around, I started just telling my teachers what I wanted to do because they kept asking us, what do you want to be when you get to high school and then graduate? So I was like, I want to be a news anchor. You know, tell me all the steps, tell me everything I have to do. So during middle school, I took speech classes. I took a journalism class in middle school. I did the news team in middle school. Transferring over to high school, I did the news team for a year, but then COVID-19 came along. So kind of put a couple of things on hold. But I'm in front of myself out there.
what is news team? I'm not familiar with that.
The news team at North Middle and at North Hardin is where in the morning you go and you tell like all the morning announcements. So there's sports section, there is a like what's going to have for lunch today, what's the weather like, what movie's going to premiere, how like which team took first place or is going to regional. There's also like little messages for teachers, like if you have meetings this afternoon or something. Yeah, so it's pretty much like the news, but for students and school.
Sure, sure. It's part of the morning announcements there.
Mhm.
It so in drama club right now, and I have to say, for your first year in drama club, this is a very unique. Drama club is always unique, but right now, in the middle of a pandemic, very, very unique situation that you find yourself in. What have rehearsals been like for this production?
Rehearsals has been fun. I love rehearsal days. It is no pressure at all. It's just man, like we do have to keep our mask on. We do have to stay 6 feet apart because that's the only way we actually been able to rehearsal like after school. And we do have to keep our distance. But rehearsing has been easy. It's just been the same as any normal. It's just less people.
And what exactly is the production you guys are going to be doing this month?
All right, so the production that we're going to be doing this month is called "The Pandemic Did Not Define Them." I think that's the right name for it, but yes, I think it's called "The Pandemic Did Not Define Them." And what it's all about is about these group of children telling a story about how, all this bad things has happened to them in the pandemic, but then getting closer to the end, when all the second monologues come out, it gets better for them, it gets funnier for them, and life gets a little bit better as we're still living in this COVID time. So
And I understand from the interview that you shared with me that
mhm.
you're playing two different characters in this.
Yes. I would say the first one I'm doing, the first monologue I'm doing is called Cancer Boy, and his name is Milo. He has cancer and he's gonna die in like 4 months. And I would say that monologue is very hard because you just have to be a very kind of silly, well, very kind of like sad, silly person. And for me, just playing that role, the monologue itself is so emotional. Like it
Mhm.
made me cry just when I read the whole thing.
It's isn't it interesting how it is both easier and more difficult
To play
to
someone else,
perform a piece that touches you like that? Yeah. You got to go
I would,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would say like it's more harder to like perform as someone else than yourself. Yeah,
sure.
that's been a challenge for me. Yeah,
Absolutely, especially with this all being new to you. And what's the other piece you're doing?
I'm doing the second monologue I'm doing is Some Lady Yelled at Me at the Grocery Store, and that is one of my favorites. And I think once I have that down and memorized, I hope I have like half the play, at least a quarter of the play memorized. But once I have like the whole thing memorized, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be phenomenal. I love it.
And what are you looking forward to uh, as a new person to performing? What are you looking forward to when you get to the Performing Arts Center?
What I'm hoping for is that I'll do really good on both of the monologues, which is no doubt. I am also looking forward to a good time and just a good experience to, be able to be able to be on stage with other people performing. I'm looking forward to that.
And we're looking forward to having North Hardin there. This would be our first Hardin County school event on our stage since the pandemic began. We've had a few rentals. We've had some of our own semi-professional things happening, but this would be our first time to have a student group on stage, and we're really eager to have you there. A little anxious, we've got all of these guidelines we all have to follow right now, and I'm kind of that I'm the COVID cop. So I'm the one that has to kind of enforce everything. But we're really looking forward to having you guys there. Um, what do you think? What's down the road for you? I know you're just a sophomore, so you have a lot of time to figure this out. But what are you thinking after high school?
What I am thinking after high school is still keeping a job so that I can pay for college. But after high school, yeah, I've already decided going straight to college. What college I want to go to, haven't gotten that exactly
Sure.
decided yet. It's either Moorhead or WKU.
Hmm.
And the reason I picked those is because WKU has the best media arts program there is in Western Kentucky. So I was like, that's a good choice. And also just trying to pick a college that's close to home, affordable. And I've also been on the weekends applying for scholarships to see if I can save up, get some scholarship money to help me pay for college and stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually a WKU graduate. I went to their drama program there, and yeah, they've got an award-winning journalism program at Western Kentucky University. I can also vouch that it is both close to home yet far enough away from home at the same time, which is also important as you're trying to move from high school to college and becoming young adult. Um, there was one other thing I wanted to ask you, and I can't think of it at the moment. Um, what have you learned about the PAC from the other performers in the group? How have they helped to prepare you as a newbie, as a new performer? How have they helped you get ready for being at the PAC?
Just seeing them up there, like they giving me confidence to be up in front of like probably like how big the pack is pretty big. So like maybe like 100 people, just the way they get up there and they just like get into character and just get in the zone and just start being the character and start, reading off the monologue and stuff. They really given me that confidence to be on stage in front of all these people and just get up there and do my thing. And also to remember to just have fun with it. No
Absolutely.
pressure.
That's really the heart and soul of it is when you have fun on stage, the audience has fun. It is contagious, like laughter and applause and all of those other things, which are really difficult right now to tap into when we're doing things like you and I right now on Zoom. Um, I really want to thank you for doing this. I know this was very spur of the moment. We usually pick our PAC student at the beginning of the month so they could be part of our video magazine, the monthly marquee on HCC TV. And I didn't have a student to recognize. And so when that article was in the paper, it's like, man, I really want to jump on this and try to get this out so that we can help promote your guys' show coming up at the end of February. North Hardin Drama. And what was the name of it again, we think?
The pandemic did not define them.
I think that, boy, I want to get that cross stitched on a pillow for everybody. That's kind of the phrase for the decade right now. Xander, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.